All right. Dot your T's and cross your I's. This is the Split the E podcast, and I'm your host, Sean O'Grady. In this podcast, we split the entertainment of Vancouver City right down the middle by taking the artist out for a pint of Guinness. My guest this week is Eamonn Mac Hale. How are you, man?
Cheers. I'm good, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
We're here in the Irish Header that do a great. We were just commenting on it. That
a
pint of Guinness.
A lovely pint.
Mm.
It's my first time here as well. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I think they moved though, didn't they?
I was in the old one in...
That's like Smith's now.
Down in Gastown, which is now Smith's.
That's the very first time I met you, where you were playing at my friend Dolta and Sarah's wedding.
That was right, man. Yeah, that was the first time we were chatting, and we were talking about the podcast.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, because you mentioned it that
fucking
time.
Nearly 2 years ago, like.
That was a good night.
That was great.
That was good crack. Yeah. Down the back, down in the forge there in Smith's.
That's such a cool place, man.
It's a lovely spot. Yeah, but the move up here. It's lovely.
It's really nice. So, Eamonn, how did you get into music and performing? Was it come from a young age, or?
I think so. Yeah, like.
Did you have music in your family?
Yeah, so there would have been always my family would have been musical, I suppose.
Yeah.
There was always sing songs at any sort of a family event, or my mum.
Or were you a little young kid hey, Eamonn will sing this song now?
Yeah. So there, I've kind of on my mum's side and my dad's side, I have mum had 7 sisters and a brother, and dad had a big family as well.
Shit.
There was 10 of them as well, so loads of cousins.
Oh, no.
So it was always good crack,
Christmas would have been a madhouse, I can imagine.
Yeah, we're usually wherever we would all get together at Christmas time or things like that, and there would always be a sing song at some point in the night. There was always a tin whistle close by,
stomping the feet.
Yeah, but my mum used to sing and stuff like that, so she
When she was singing, what type of music was it? Trad? It was trad, was it?
She would sing my memories of her singing would be singing Dolly Parton songs.
No way.
Yeah.
9 to 5.
My Coat of Many Colours. That was her party piece.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you know that song.
I actually
Dolly
don't.
Parton.
No.
It's a nice song. It's
the only one I know.
Yeah. Another great song, but yeah. So and then my granddad would have played trad music. Stuff like that. My little cousin now, actually, he's not too small anymore, but he's on tour actually with a band. I don't know if you ever heard of God is an Astronaut.
Oh, that's a great name for a band, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
So I wasn't actually familiar with them at all before this, but he's on tour with them now at the minute.
All around Ireland, or
all around Europe?
No fucking
Yeah,
way.
so I'd be seeing his Instagram stories.
Explain that band. Are they and his band as well?
Yeah,
is
so
he in a band or is he solo?
He's just joined up with that band now. They've kind of taken him on, I suppose, and he's only young, so.
Yeah.
They're Daniel Gallagher. Shout out to Daniel.
Yeah, shout out to Daniel. Come on.
Yeah, I know. So I'm delighted for him now because that's what he's always wanted to do,
And what's he doing? Is he?
He plays the guitar, and he's I suppose he's a guitarist in it now. Yeah. So they're touring around, but the type of music they play is kind of like space rock, which is a genre that me neither. Because when I seen he was in this band, I started looking them up and googling them, but they're.
Oh really?
So he's.
What's the name of the band? One more time. Space?
God is an Astronaut.
God is an Astronaut.
Yeah.
That's a fucking cool name.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's unique. So I suppose there was always kind of music around growing up. It was good crack,
You would always for me, I always thought I could sing, but I'm thinking you can sing and actually being able to sing, two different things. When did you realize? Yeah, I can do this. Were you told at a young age? Were you provoked?
Not really. I suppose that's a good question. Always when you were younger, they'd be oh, go on, sing a song there. But
that never happened to me. Shut the fuck up.
you know, like everyone would do their party piece or whatever. But I think in school as well, like, you know, you'd be like, I think my first like memory of kind of singing a song in front of people was in primary school.
Yeah.
At like just a show that they put on, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
At that time, like I was just kind of learning the guitar, like had only started learning the guitar.
Was the guitar your first instrument that you picked up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first instrument. That's the only instrument really that I can play. But yeah, I remember singing a song in like this school show.
What was the song?
With the guitar. It was a song called Mad World.
Okay, Gary.
I can't even think of the fella who sings the song originally.
This is a mad world. It's
Yeah.
very slow.
It's a kind of a slow, kind of a bit of a sad song, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it was easy. It was kind of easy to learn, and I remember it was like Mum would be showing us like
Tears for Fears actually wrote the song.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do you know that band? Tears for Fears. They had another one. They had another song. I can't remember it right now.
Yeah.
But that actual song, Mad World, the version that what we're thinking of.
Yeah.
Gary July, I think his name is.
Yeah.
But that was actually on the Donnie Darko soundtrack.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
I can't think his fucking name though.
Yeah, me neither now, because I think that was the only time I sang it. Never sang it since.
I know, yeah.
But it's just the first song I remember. It was like, you know, just and that was I don't know what age I was at that time, and then that was kind of the start.
The
like,
showcase of.
Yeah, and then I just kind of I wasn't really playing as much music then when I was kind of younger.
Yeah.
And then I sort of started getting interested in like learning more songs on the guitar and stuff as I kind of got a little bit like when I was like 16, 17, around that age. I kind of started getting more interested in it again.
And what were you like the type of music that you were interested in? Was it a very bad? Because I had Jod on. And you'd be good mates with Jod.
Oh yeah.
And he was explaining to me that like Sligo, you're so lucky living in Sligo with walking down any avenue or even in school, there's like a vast variety of music.
Yeah, he's right about that. Like it's Sligo is kind of like we're definitely lucky there where you can go like 7 nights a week. Like you can.
No way.
You can walk down the street and there's somewhere with live music and like the best of live music. Like and it varies. Like it could be anything from like rock and roll to trad music.
Yeah. Was that rock and roll and trad music the influences that you had when you were a kid?
I think when I was younger, like I would have always been like when you're very young, like it was like my parents were kind of into country music.
Yeah.
And then like on my mum's side of the family, they were like coming from my granda, like traditional music.
Yeah.
So that would have been the first kind of music probably that I was hearing.
Yeah.
And then as I was kind of getting like into a teenager and stuff, I used to love I still love like Rory Gallagher, Jimi Hendrix. Man. So I started getting more into that. But country music, folky kind of music, that's the kind of music that I like.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Did you know like the very first record that was mass produced, was an Irish singer? And do you know how like nowadays R&B and hip hop, every artist will try and kind of like create a sound to that? This is on like Blind Boy's podcast actually.
Really?
Where he explained the very first record. Irish Eyes Are Smiling was the name of the fucking song. I don't know how I pulled that out of my arse right now, but
that was the very first record ever.
I mass produced.
Really?
Yeah, I'm nearly 100% sure, 90% sure, and it was an Irish twang, but it was an actual American that sang it. So the popular sound, like pop music, popular sound was Irish, kind of like Keenan, and do you know how like the Irish sound, like singing.
Yeah.
Like instead of like now, everyone wants to be like an R&B artist.
I was.
Kind of hip hop.
This is kind of, it might be going a bit off topic, but I was just reading there recently about, Jerry Cinnamon.
No, I do not know.
You don't know Jerry Cinnamon, no?
No.
Oh yeah, you should. He's a Scottish fella.
Okay.
You know Belter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know
I
the
do.
song
Yeah,
Belter.
yeah.
So, but that whole album, I don't know, was it like his first album or whatever? But he produced the whole thing out of his flat in Scotland himself.
Yeah.
And like, I think, the story was like that. Like he wasn't with any record label. He didn't get any funding.
Fully independent.
He just done his own thing.
Class.
Wrote his own songs and produced them all out of his own house. Like
That's like.
Yeah.
Do you ever listen to The Streets? This is completely
The
off
Streets, yeah.
genre, but Same topic. The
Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner.
Yeah,
He recorded, produced the beats, and everything in his closet, covered under a fucking a duvet cover to make the sound compacted in.
Yeah, was there a story as well that you can, in one of those tracks, you can hear his mum in the background.
Way.
I don't know, you'd have to double check on that one, but I remember hearing something or reading something.
Material. Dinner's ready.
No, but literally, I think it was something like that. Like he's there in his room recording one of their famous tracks, like The Streets. Yeah. And apparently, if you listen closely, you can hear his mum shouting up the stairs in the background.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's
and
sick.
I'd have to check that now. But I think that's it's mad. Like to see
what's that?
What somebody can make in their own room.
That painter who used to like teach and he had an afro.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross with like his slogan was a happy mistake.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way of putting a mistake. A happy mistake.
No, that is. I think it is a happy mistake, isn't it?
Yeah.
But a happy accident is what he calls it.
Oh no.
So you're playing the guitar. You do the one show in school. Was it a show or what was it?
It was just like a show for like with all the
Showcase.
other students and like
really?
we're all in primary school, like
Yeah.
People are getting up doing different things, but
how did you were saying then that you were like you developed and you picked up the guitar after a little break, a little hiatus, and then
I didn't have much interest in it really, like when I was kind of younger.
Yeah.
But
playing football or whatever.
Yeah. But then kind of as I was kind of 15, 16, 17, around that age, I started listening to like all that kind of older music, like older kind of rock and roll and stuff like that. And then I started getting interested in it again, and I wanted to learn like more songs and as many songs as I could. Then I.
Do you feel like? How did you crack the code? I unfortunately I don't play any, and I wish I did, and this is the closest thing that I can get to music is to talk to musicians.
Yeah.
I think it's a cop out because it's fairly enjoyable for me that I don't have to do the hard work, which I should do, and just learn the guitar or learn an instrument. But I get to talk to people and it's great.
Yeah.
Over a pint. But like where did you like get the drive to crack the code on, I'm just going to learn this? Where did you get that consistency from? You were just interested?
I think like...
or do you think you're kind of gifted in that way?
No, like I think for me, like, would say if I think of the first time that I ever, like when I was older, that like playing on front of people.
Yeah.
And when you see like, so that, like the first time that I played, like in public, kind of when I was older, was myself and a friend of mine. We were, again, it was like another kind of a charity thing.
Oh, cool.
And they had it was a fundraiser, and there was like past pupils from our school were kind
of taking part. Was this in school or was it a pub event?
It was kind of in a hotel, like where,
cool,
you know, like back at home in Sligo. Yeah. And myself and a friend of mine we were going playing like 2 songs in it on the guitar. And
Together?
Together, yeah. Together. So
did you come up with a name?
No, we didn't. We were just like, oh,
The two boys.
Yeah. Two chancers.
Yeah.
And we done it anyways. We learned a couple of songs and we played it, and like there was people there or whatever. And after that night, the bar in the hotel asked us if we would come back and play a few songs.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, like to do a gig, like one of the nights in the hotel bar. And of course we were delighted, like
Yeah.
because the thought of like they were like they must want us to come back and play a few tunes. But it ended up anyways. My friend he went off and done his own thing, but I went in anyways, and I was like, sure, I'll go and do the gig. But at the time, like it was say for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I need to have enough songs here to play for 2 hours. Like
2 hours for your first. Was this your?
that was my first
gig?
time, doing a gig in like
biting off
a restaurant or anything like that, or a pub.
The whole apple there. Yeah.
So went in thinking I had enough songs. I had about 20 songs. Like this is just goes to show you,
Yeah.
Played them through with a sound system that like, I didn't even know how to work it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Did you get any pointers for a man?
At one stage, the woman behind the bar, she came up and she was like, and she was lovely, like, but she said, "Do you mind turning that down a bit?" Like,
oh, for fuck's sake.
but I had like 20 songs, man, and played them all, but sure, only a half an hour had gone. Like. So I had no more songs, like, to play them all again.
Now you have 2 hours left.
Yeah,
1 hour and a half left.
Yeah. So, but that was my first time ever doing a gig, and but even though it was
that
like
builds experience and taking your skin a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How did you get through? You just played the same songs over?
Luckily there was only about 3 people there.
Do you know what? Do you know what, man? I fucking listen at work. I listen to the radio, and they played the exact same 2 songs over and over again the other day. So
no way.
Don't fucking feel bad about it, because if the radio stations in fucking
if
Vancouver
the radio's doing it,
are doing it, they want to sort themselves out. Come on, lads.
Yeah. But that was kind of how I ended up like playing music and stuff. And
just did you like fucking get a reaction from the crowd, and then you were like, "This is class"?
Not really. Like when you say the crowd, like there was like. As I said, there was like a couple of people there, and they were coming and going. Like luckily for me, so I could kind of wing it that way. But then, like, I just kind of went from there, and I was like learning more songs. And luckily, the hotel asked me to come back another night.
Yeah.
So they gave me like a few nights to come back, and then I went to another place and played there, and that was kind of how it all.
Kind of like a slow roll.
Yeah, and then when I moved over here, like I'm here almost 5 years now, which is mad.
How did you get started over here?
So again here it was like I had been playing the odd night at home, like here and there, and when I moved over here, there was a friend of mine who was down in the Shamrock.
Oh right, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, come down, and there's live music here," and we were down and we were having a few pints, and like I wasn't here that long at all, and there was a fella playing, and it was actually Larry.
Oh no way.
Yeah, I didn't know him at the time, but
way.
he was like,
was
like, "Oh, come up and play a few tunes," and so I went up and played a few tunes, and then the Shamrock gave me a gig then. After that, and myself and Larry have become great friends now. After
Larry's the biggest champ in the world.
Yeah. So that was it, and then started. They took me back in. So
fucking
that's how.
When you were back home, were you doing like events? Did you do weddings and like stuff like that?
Not really. Like there was just like
I'm just going off that because I seen you at a wedding.
Yeah. Not really. Like at home, I was it was like pubs.
Yeah.
Anyone. Like local pubs, like a hotel the odd time. There was a couple of family weddings where like you know, family would ask me to play a few songs.
Oh, perfect, yeah.
Yeah, which was like
Have
looking back.
you ever been playing and then you just like there's a fight that breaks out or and you're playing in the middle and you're like, oh shit.
I'll tell you a funny story actually. There was one night in a pub back at home. It was a pub that was a fair enough distance away from where I live, but it was a real small country pub.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't many people in there at all, but it was a quiet night, and I was kind of playing anyways. I was coming towards the end of the set, and next thing a row broke out in the pub.
Yeah. And
at this point, I had just started playing, and I was kind of like, so I should keep going anyways, and hopefully, it started kind of small, and then it ended up getting into a row, and then the next thing, there was two fellas kind of fell up against me.
Oh, no way.
Microphone stand fell over.
Literally, poof.
Just fell over, so I was like, then I stopped playing, but then the bar woman at the time, she came out and she grabbed the two lads like that, and threw the two of them out the door.
Oh, no way.
Obviously, like, they knew her in there, and she was well respected, like, so she had no problem throwing them out, man. It was it was funny now, but no, so that's kind of how like I started, man, with the music and everything. Yeah. And then like going back to kind of learning songs and stuff, like for me, kind of like the main thing is like to go into a place and like create an atmosphere where, people can have fun and relax, and it's enjoyable, like, and so I would kind of play songs that I think that whoever's in wherever it is, if it's a pub or whatever it is, I like to play songs that I think people want to hear,
Yeah. Were there artists from Ireland that you like would give you like name a few artists that like influenced you when you were growing up, that were around playing in the pubs or anything like that?
Like around Sligo or there was like we were saying, like Sligo is full of like great musicians, like and you would see you'd go into pubs and you'd see there was Irish musicians, like I love Christy Moore.
Christy Moore.
Do you know, like he has some great songs, and like I like a song that kind of tells a story, like
100%. I was literally last weekend I was just talking to Paul Caldwell, and he does a cover of Black Is the Colour.
Oh yeah, class.
Man, hands down, I think that's the best cover I've ever. I think he owns that song now.
Yeah.
Because that song.
I've seen it, yeah.
That song goes back fucking 1940.
Yeah.
And that's the first time it's been recorded. I think they don't even know when it was like invented or made.
Really, yeah.
I think it's supposed to be in Scotland, somewhere, Scottish Highlands.
Yeah.
Growing up, I thought it was just fucking Christy Moore.
Yeah.
And then when I heard Paul's version of it, and he has he told me at the weekend now, it's not bagpipes, but
is it uilleann pipes?
Uilleann pipes.
Oh yeah.
That makes it such like this Irish.
It kind of like it makes the hair stand up in the back of your neck.
Yeah.
The uilleann pipes, yeah.
Anytime I listen to it, I close my eyes and I feel like a bird, and it sounds so shy. I feel like a bird riding the crest of a wind over the cliffs of Moher, and I don't know if like that's only music can do that to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that song and him singing it and the uilleann pipes, it's amazing. Like, that's what music does to me, anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's as well with like kind of Irish traditional music. Like there's some instruments that just kind of like the uilleann pipes.
Yeah.
It just has this unique sound.
Yeah. Man. And you know what? Bagpipes are kind of like
yeah, they're very loud and
ear farts or something. Do you know, I don't know how to describe it. But the uilleann pipe is so nice and subtly Irishly Celtic. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Paul does a great version of
And
that
Paul
song.
Wadden, a creative,
Yeah.
like his voice is
And
great.
he's a great songwriter as well. Like,
Oh my
you
god!
know,
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, it's there's like Christy Moore, like when you talk about songs as well, like that's one thing that I always like. Certain songs like are just kind of timeless,
Yeah.
and like if you hear them in a pub, no matter where you are in the world,
Yeah.
people instantly recognize it. It
And
could
it's
be
just like that.
and people
Yeah.
could start singing along, and it could be a song that could be 100 years old.
Yeah, man.
Like, you know, if you talk about, say, Irish songs like Grace, you know.
What's Grace?
Grace, you know,
Oh, I should know this.
you know it. It's
Who sings it?
it's an old ballad about Joseph Plunkett. I think he was executed during the 1916 Rising.
Okay.
But he the night before he was executed, he married his
Grace.
his wife, his girlfriend at the time, and they
Yeah,
got
yeah.
married in Kilmainham jail.
No fucking way.
Yeah, and there's a song, yeah. You'd know Grace if you heard it.
Have you the lyrics? Because I really want. I definitely know it, but I can't
As we
remember.
gather in the chapel here, in old Kilmainham jail.
Oh, I do.
You know that one,
Yeah.
So, you know, a song like that, like, and
Fuck,
it comes.
single.
We'll get it. We get a sing along going, yes.
Yeah.
But songs like that, like that are over 100 years old, like,
Timeless, man.
and people just instantly start singing along to it.
As you said, like literally the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
class.
It is.
The last time I was talking to you, you were telling me about I'm going to get the name wrong. Seamus O'Dowd.
Oh yeah.
I've since been listening to him. There's a whole family of them, man.
Was that so? I was talking about the song "Crooked Jack."
I don't know, because I was looking them up on YouTube.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
They have just, it's like Shamey, Rory, and then Stephen.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's jigs, and there's no lyrics,
Okay. Yeah.
but it's literally them playing 3 guitars.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. They're
highly
class
talented.
musicians. Yeah.
Yeah. The only comparison I have to that is, have you ever listened to like John Butler Trio, Oceans?
Oh yeah.
That's exactly. Oh, here we go. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
a million.
Unreal. Thanks, man. Here we go. I can't get over how fucking creamy they are. Unreal.
They're lovely pints, to be fair.
Yeah. Right. So, are you ready to do this? Or
I've been training.
I hope so. I've been. What's this 5th podcast in? So.
You've been training as well.
That's all I drink now. My shit is black as the street. No worries. No, but man, like tunes like that are just fucking. And to touch back on, like, I'm delighted that I grew up in Killaloo, where I had like a multicultural and it's so close to Limerick and stuff like that.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Oh
it is,
yeah.
But like, just after kind of like searching into the O'Dowds a little bit more, since you told me, they're highly talented, like really
Yeah.
nice, really good.
And like there'd be nights at home where you could go to like a trad session and see somebody like Seamus O'Dowd playing the fiddle or playing the guitar, like, you know, playing like the best of trad music.
Yeah.
And then you could go in another night and see him playing electric guitar, Rory Gallagher, all that, you know, like
It's just literally like
anything.
comes to him naturally.
Yeah. And that was
By
like,
any chance, are they like related to Chris O'Dowd? I'd love to know. The
I
actor.
don't know now. I don't know. You wouldn't
Well, it's
know.
all the same
You
plot.
wouldn't know. We're
Yeah.
all probably related to each other in some way.
Anyway, here,
We're splitting
the time has come. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
I've started to kind of like accumulate a crew of a list of who has hit it, and Jod is at the top at the moment. So
is he?
Yeah.
Oh, Judd, we'll have to knock you off the perch.
Yeah. All right. Right.
That's,
Cheers, man.
cheers.
I'm on the money.
Oh, tool, I overshot it.
Oh, Jod, get back up on that.
Judd, you're... I was too eager.
I think it just tastes so good.
That's also true.
So that's a good excuse.
Bang on.
Yeah.
You can tell now. You can tell you've been practicing.
I'm getting good at it. So when you came over here and you were kind of like, because you're playing later tonight.
Not tonight. No, I'm playing tomorrow night.
You're playing tomorrow.
Yeah, in Johnny Fox's.
Do you have a circuit that you play, or is it always like how do you pick your gigs? It seems like you're hard at work, man. Anytime that I'm talking to you or I see you, you're always at least like 3 times a week, you know, like 2 times a week.
It always depends. Like, not every week, but like for me, like it's always like I always feel lucky that someone would text you and ask you to come in somewhere and play music or like into a pub or something like that. So I'm always delighted to be given a chance to, like, you know, go into a pub. And so I if I could, I'd do it 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
Do you know? But usually it's like the Irish pubs that I've kind of been playing in since I got here.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, like the main thing for me is to go in and kind of like create an atmosphere in a pub or at an event where people are enjoying themselves and just like for 2 or 3 hours kind of they can go in and relax and forget about everything else, like, for, you know.
100%.
And yeah, like if I can go in and do that, like I'm happy out. And and then like I was saying, if somebody texts me to go in to a pub or something like that and play music, I'm always delighted, like, you know. So yeah, luckily it's been generally the Irish pubs, like Irish pubs in general, are great for having live music.
They always do.
You know, there's always kind of music. It's a big part of our.
Do you ever go to Donlands on Sunday for the roast?
I have.
That's fucking sweet. So we were there like fucking Easter Sunday, and there's some like young kid like at fucking 2 o'clock in the day just playing.
Really? Yeah.
That's sweet. That's unreal.
Yeah, and it's not everywhere you get that, like, you know.
No, you don't.
But yeah, so I play.
So what's your Instagram handle? So if anyone wants to reach out to you and to get a gig in, and to contact you for more gigs. Even.
My Instagram, I have to. What's it? Eamonn Mac Hale music. I think that's my full name. I only made that not that long ago, and somebody asked me. I was actually in Long and McQuaid the other day buying a guitar lead.
Yeah.
And I have an account in there.
Yeah.
And your mom was like, "What's your phone number?" Every time they ask your phone number, I just went blank. I couldn't remember.
Dude, you're not the only one. I remember.
It's been the number I've had for 5 years, like.
Oh yeah, I
couldn't remember.
I remember in I think I went into like 4th class when I was a kid after the summer holidays, and they were like, "Write your date of birth," and I was like, "What's my date of birth?" I totally forgot about it as a kid.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You kind of go blank, but
You do. Have you have you? I think you were telling me through text that you're creating your own music as well soon, or is that a private thing?
No, yeah. So, like I was kind of saying earlier, for me, for the last few years, like it's kind of like I've always wanted to kind of know as many songs as I can, that I can go into any sort of atmosphere and play different kind of songs that I think
for the people.
Yeah,
You're
like
a provider, basically.
Basically, you know, based on what I think people that are in there want to hear or whatever. But yeah, over the last while, I've kind of, I've always wanted to write a song.
Yeah.
But I never did, or I never really put probably enough time or stuff into it. But I did write a song there a couple of weeks ago.
Unreal.
And I'm kind of putting more time into that now, I suppose.
So if you had to explain the style or to go into it a little bit.
I would say it's kind of country.
Cool.
Kind of like maybe country style.
Yeah.
Country style, maybe folky. I don't really know, actually.
That's good though. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know this style, so maybe you just
your
own thing. You know
I
what
don't
I mean?
know. Yeah, so I would like to.
Do you have a name of the song as of yet, or is it just in its early days?
The name that I kind of have on it is The Window on My Street.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was It kind of came kind of like.
Are you just saying you're a peeping Tom? No, I'm joking.
You say you can be I might not want to change that now. You see lots out the window, but no, it was the song, like to kind of maybe explain the song is
I'm excited to hear it, man. Yeah. Definitely.
So there was one time I was playing in a bar and I was standing outside and I got chatting to this fella.
Yeah.
And he was an older fella, and we were kind of chatting about everything and anything, and he was saying, he was kind of saying how, I don't know how the conversation went this way, but he was saying how he was he almost got evicted and this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Right.
I was grand anyways, but a few months later I was driving into my own building and I seen the same fella hopping out of a bin at the back of the building. So he obviously had become homeless in the meantime.
Yeah. It's the times we live in.
Yeah, and you know, you always see people who are homeless kind of you know, they're going around in the back streets kind of picking up bottles and picking up cans and trying to...
You know when it hit me real, actually, the other day, I was putting out fucking glass bottles and it actually was an Irish homeless guy. And
really?
Yeah. He was like, well, boss, do you have any glasses? And I was like, what? Like,
no way.
In a sense, I was like, oh, what? Fuck. Sorry, man. Do you know? It took me a second to like...
Really, yeah.
Any homeless person's kind of like bad, right? But then when it hits home for you and it's like, that could be me. A little bit more than if it's any Canadian or anything like that. But
yeah, I think like when you see somebody who maybe is struggling and you think that's someone's brother or sister or somebody's son or daughter or whatever, like, and
so
then you kind of
you seen this and then you were like,
yeah, and I was you kind of be thinking that could happen to anybody,
anyone,
you know, like some people have good family around them, good friends around them.
Yeah.
And some people don't, maybe for whatever reason, but anybody can end up in a situation 100%. Like that. Like,
did you ever watch Soft White Underbelly? It's a podcast.
I've seen, He interviews people on the streets.
Yeah. But just to go back and finish off your song.
So that's kind of where the idea for the song came from, and it's kind of like
storytelling.
It's kind of like a story of
from your point of view.
From my point of view, like looking out the window.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Yeah.
And seeing
what's going around.
Seeing him, you know,
very fitting for this time that we're living in right now in society.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's a bit of it's kind of a sad song.
That's okay.
You know, but it just kind of came to me, and it just, I just kind of wrote it. It's like a simple enough song, but it's just a
kind
story.
I'm really excited to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever do release it, or if you ever do play it, my ears are open.
Yeah.
But it's kind of ironic in a sense
Yeah.
that your very first song was Mad World, and then you're putting out a song that's kind of like a Mad World in a sense.
Now that you say
you're
it,
summing
yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is a mad world, you know.
It is 100%.
But yeah, so no, I'd love to, like, you know, get a few more songs written and
Yeah,
and
100%.
you know, see how that goes.
Definitely, man. Keep it at.
Yeah.
You're hot, man. I love seeing you live. You're very good. Honest to God.
Thank you, man.
Keep it up.
I appreciate that.
I'm, again, as I said earlier on the podcast, is like, this is the closest for me to being able to have a voice.
Yeah.
As a good singer voice, I can't have one. So this is the closest thing that I have. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no worries. My pleasure's all mine. Your Instagram, we'll get it right this time. And you're doing Groove in the Wild as well.
Yes, I'm.
Man,
Groove in the Wild.
100%.
I'm delighted to be asked back to that this year. Last year they asked me to be part of it last year, that was an experience as well, like, because it's like a music festival, and you know, it's you're out in the woods, like the scenery is lovely, and
it's in Chase this year as well, which is
this year it's in Chase, yeah,
which is a little bit closer to Vancouver, so it's better.
It's closer, it's easier to get to, but the lineup, man, this year, like, is class, and like to be sort of in any way involved with it is a real pleasure. Like, so thanks to the boys for asking me back.
Encourage anyone that listens as well that I set up. I'm not taking credit for anything. I made a Spotify playlist of all the artists that are there. I highly recommend going and have a listen to it, because it gets me pumped, man. Like,
really, yeah. Because that's one thing about it, is they have everything from the likes of myself playing a few tunes on the guitar, to like bands. There's live bands there this year.
There is, and then
there's
a lot of DJ bass, and then that
there's DJs. There's Chase and Abby, Boots and Cats, Versatile.
There's a young Asian artist, DJ, something Chung. Oh Jesus, that's highly racist. I think I'll edit. No fucking way.
Oh, Ricky Chung.
Ricky Chung.
Yes, yeah.
Man, he is sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know Ricky, but he was in Sligo. He was in the college. I've seen him playing in different places.
Jod was telling me he actually came up with him on the DJ scene.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Ricky Chan. You are fucking unbelievable, dude. That Por Favor, that song is sick. But
that's right. He's kind of producing his own songs and stuff.
Dude, man, he has songs on Spotify. It's fucking unreal. Yeah. Go check out my Spotify playlist that I made. It's called Groove in the Wild.
I'm really looking forward to it this year. No.
This year is my first year.
Yeah.
But, right, we'll wrap this up. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
We look forward to seeing you in the pub, in the wild, and in our ears someday soon. So thanks again, man. Your Instagram. Did we do that already 3 times? Maybe.
Eamonn Mac Hale music.
Perfect. God bless.
That's the one.
Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, and share the shit out of it. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.